And the faceoffs, Nick Rowlett for the Chaos. Mike Sisselberger, who was so good in week 1, and then ran out of gas late against Luke Weirman, who dominated him in the Denver comeback last weekend. The Chaos at 2-1, the Archers at 1-1, and the Chaos win the opening draw. And promptly turn it over. Quint, when you're a goalie, you've been out, you're coming back from an injury. You're trying to test Blaze Reardon into
four Archers there. There was no need for a slide. It looked like they were trying to time up that slide to have a cause turnover, understanding Fields kind of grips the ball a little too long, but in that situation, Fields saw it coming and was able to evade it, but they created offense there.
Chaos had the face-off one. Rowlett able to pick it up over to Patrick Resch. One note for the Archers.
To the pipe, and Minnick has found that one spot. It's an amazing shot.
Now Sisselberger struggled toward the end of the game last week. Archers a week ago had a 7-goal fourth quarter lead against Denver and sort of lost in what has become the Brennan O'Neill.
Just has a physical advantage there, and once he gets leverage underneath, you just gotta go. Somebody's gotta go.
Dana Boyle with the one they now call Dauber.
Eric, first goal as a professional in a Chaos uniform, how does it feel?
A lot of fun, just playing lacrosse. It's fun to be out here.
Do you like your nickname, Dauber?
Oh, right there. That can't happen, and that's demoralizing for a goaltender. You're not even turned, and the ball's already in the back of the net. And that's a communication and an execution mistake that comes down to your constitution, your rules defensively. When do we double? When do we not double?
Defense is
gorgeous.
As a right-handed player, to do that with your offhand with the flick of a wrist so silky smooth.
Sisselberger had it dislodged. 2 seconds, 1 second. Robbins heaves it over Reardon, and quarter number 1 comes to an end. Utah's been a fast starter the first 2 weeks. Not quite today, only 2 goals in the opening quarter for the defending champions. And it's the Chaos up by 1.
State program. His parents are both alums. His brothers are alums. And in talking to him, he's always been a young man who's put a lot of time and emphasis on his footwork. But watching videos of Mark Millen, Mikey Powell, and Kyle Harrison growing up, guys you played with,
3 good guys to watch videos of.
And you see that in his game. He is king of the agility. His burn was covered.
You can't tell that Blaze Reardon dislocated his kneecap 2 weeks ago. When Dana and I saw him last week, he was telling us, hey, he could have played a week ago had it been late.
A big Tim Tebow fan growing up in Gator country, kind of that northern Florida area. Got some good ball players coming out of that part of the country.
Yeah. Loose ball push. It is against the Chaos, Utah ball.
So suddenly now we look up, Ryan, and Utah's offense is not getting it
And this
done.
is exactly the type of Chaos game that they wanted to create.
Keeps you going.
Ambler's goal, his first of the season. Now 30 years old, 7 goals a season ago. Sisselberger, jump pass ahead as the Archers, who had an 8-goal lead week 1 against the Water Dogs, up 12.
Fakes to one side and then cuts hard. Pretty simple.
Archers within 1. And a timeout by Andy Towers with 2:01 to go in this opening half. He had a wooden fence in his backyard. Mac O'Keefe wore it out. The amount of times his dad had to change the panels on that fence because he would hit the same spot over and over and over again.
Dad Brian, former pro player in the indoor league. Mac has spent some time up in Canada during the summer when he was in high school playing box up in Orangeville.
I mean, there's a few shooters that I think are waves right now, but I can't think of any goal that the Archers had where you're like, how did that get in there?
Very even stats. Very even.
But from a tempo game control standpoint, this is what the Chaos want.
Chaos probably want the low-scoring defensive game. And if you're a Chaos fan, you're sitting on the fact that this Utah team has kind of hit a wall in the fourth quarter. We'll see if that happens again tonight.
Week 1, Utah almost blew an 8-goal lead in the second half. Last week against Denver, Utah blew a 7-goal fourth quarter lead. Sort of lost in the, Brennan O'Neill went crazy.
And even in Chaos's win last week, that was a weird game. Only 1 goal in the whole.
Of setting clean and good picks in this league, and they're huge. This gives, remember Brennan O'Neill's goal last week from the 2, where he went up top. This is the same situation. Pettersson's got to do a little better job anticipating that.
And for all the two-handedness that the Chaos have kind of talked about and wanting to evolve.
Defensively, the Chaos stay with their men, your man down, and carry with their men, instead of just staying in your place and passing the man on to the next man like you would in a normal zone defense.
And all of a sudden, Tom Schreiber has entered the chat. He's had a hand in 3 straight Archers goals.
So that triangular motion, it's meant to get a reaction out of the defense that it got, instead of just standing there in your zone defense and kind of ignoring it.
Well, and from a scout perspective, you're prepared for that on the left side, right? And you're always kind of on alert for that play. Nice wrinkle by Archers. Same.
Knobloch, 4th overall pick, first midfielder taken in this year's draft.
Nicknamed Tubby, mom, high school coach. His improvement at Rutgers, Anish, was terrific to watch from year to year.
Rowlett wins the faceoff. Over to the wing. Good look. Wide. Back. So we're tied at 7. Final 30 seconds. Rowlett off the faceoff win. Earlier today, the Cannons beat the Water Dogs.
Inside the goal and kick off them. In that case, I just thought it hit that vertical pipe.
Agree, and if you're going to err on one side, if it rings off the pipe, I think we've just seen historically just err on the side of no goal and then let it be challenged to become one.
Rowlett had a good look. That would have been a 2.
Error, obviously.
You know, there's been a theme, and we've seen it play out in the PLL, not just this year, but sometimes the game can kind of have a lull, and then all of a sudden, in an instant, it opens up. Might be watching it here. Rowlett, spin cycle, Henningberg the backup.
Reminds me of the NBA, Anish, where the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
The most range on the wings, regardless of necessarily their position, or you got to try to get a win and a quick timeout. That would be the other play, but a 2 is going to be more likely to be generated off of a scramble face-off. And I'd be looking for Newman to try to cheat up field.
They added a few seconds back. Dobbins comes up with the ball. Chucks it downfield. 4 seconds to go. Reardon sends it down. We get a whistle.
It's a timeout by Chaos.
With 4 seconds to go.
So they're going to have to put 4 seconds on the clock. John Robbins, pardon me, picked up that ground ball off the face-off.
You're looking for some Zach Tucci magic here on a full field toss with a multiple screen in front.
And real quick, I just don't want to gloss over this. Schreiber understanding the late shot clock. Like, we've already exhausted enough of that. We might as well try to get this to a 2-goal margin to avoid that exact same wacky Tucci potential.
So Fields makes it 8-7. Schreiber makes it 9-7. Carolina